Well, hey there, YouTube. How you doing? We're just talking about Mein Kampf and Hitler. You missed it. You should check out the live stream in the link in the description if you want to know more of that juicy live stream action. All these awesome commenters and chatters over here getting the live experience while you're just getting the crappy YouTube experience. What? Some pre-recorded nonsense? This is old-ass news, man. This is old-ass crap, and you're over here watching it when you could be down with the motherfucking clown over here at the real shit over there at Twitch. So come on, click that link in the description. Quit screwing around with YouTube and get with the real show. This is Jeff Bezos' show. So anyway, in the UK, massive... It has nothing to do with Brexit, by the way. This is like Ukraine, Putin. This is the Putin. This is all Putin inflation. This has nothing to do with Brexit. Brexit was actually a really good idea. It's just it wasn't. You know, Rishi Sunak ruined it or something. You know, oven-ready deal. It was an oven-ready deal, and then they put it out of the... It wasn't cooked. It wasn't in the oven long enough. They took it out of the oven. It was oven-ready. They didn't. It went in the oven. It went out of the oven. You don't take a turkey out of the oven when before it's done. It's got a little popper. It comes out popper, right? Come on. And that's what Rishi Sunak did. He ruined Brexit. So now we're dealing with a massive economic issue over there in the UK. Thanks, Rishi Sunak.
Are we about to be hit by a mortgage time bomb?
Now, maybe, but I do know one thing. It's not Boris Johnson's fault. It has nothing to do with Brexit, and it's not Boris Johnson's fault.
As soaring interest rates undermine the value of our homes, does the British dream of bricks and mortar wealth start to slip away?
Okay.
That's how it feels for Daniel Halawe, who saved carefully for years to own his own place. In November, his fixed-term mortgage comes to an end, and now he worries he could lose it all.
Want to come down, explore?
Yeah.
When I read the letter.
Yep. No, it wasn't Brexit. It was everything else but Brexit and the decisions of the Tories. The Tories have actually been doing everything correct. And, you know, COVID and Putin and Ukraine. And, you know, if they just weren't held back by Rishi Sunak and all these other things, it would have been a massive success. It really would have been, right?
It wasn't just like £100 or 150.
Oh, no, he's a Disney guy. Ah! Oh, it hurts. Oh, it hurts, the Disney people. He's got he's a big Disney guy. He's got the Magic Kingdom and everything right in his corner, man. Oh, man. Maybe his daughter's really into Disney. No, it's him, isn't it? It's him. He's a Disney guy. You never know. You just never know when the next thing you're going to run into a Disney freak.
When I read the letter, it wasn't just like £100 or 150. It was literally nearly double, more than double. Rent. So it went up about £450.
He's talking about his rent.
So as soon as I read that, I panicked. I was like, "That's mad." You know, with everything else, you're not just paying that. You've got other bills as well. I mean, I was like on the phone straight away, like trying to call the banks, my mortgage brokers, and figuring out options, and no one had good news for me.
The Bank of England raised interest rates for a 13th time today to 5%. The highest level since September 2008,
that ain't cheap.
And ending an era of rock-bottom interest rates.
No, that's like a $500 to $1,000 toy he's got in the corner there. That's the whole Magic Kingdom set. That was like $1,000.
But despite the peril, the governor pledged to keep going and do whatever it takes to tame inflation.
What? Whoa, hold on. Derailment. Toot toot. You are kidding me. Oh, okay. You're okay. Shut up. I thought this was an announcement that Ivanka Trump and Donald, they were divorcing. Okay, back to the story.
We're not desiring a recession, but we will do what is necessary to bring inflation down to target. We cannot continue to have the current level of wage increases, and we can't have companies seeking to rebuild profit margins, which means prices continue to go up at their current rates. But what I would say to people is we expect inflation to come down. And it's important then that price setting and wage setting reflects that, because the current levels, I'll be absolutely honest, are unsustainable.
Okay. But Daniel says without earning more, he simply won't be able to pay the bills.
I feel like I need to get a bigger salary now to be able to, you know, be broke even every month. So it's definitely a lot trickier now. I don't know what tomorrow brings. The thing is with me, I know I have to.
At the mortgage.
So I wanted to respond to Panda Man's statement about Larry Summers and, you know, saying that we're going to need more interest rate hikes. Yeah, maybe, you know, I'm not a financial expert. The main thing that I want to drill into, though, is every time there is a suggestion for a remedy for this issue, it's always the poor and middle class that this needs to go to. These news agencies, the you know, the articles that are printed about it, it's constantly wage spiral, right? Wage spiral. We're paying the middle class too much. We got to cut those wages. Never, ever is there a discussion about the rampant overpayment of CEOs and executives and all the profit being made by these companies. And there's never a discussion about going after any of that, correcting any of the market by going after this excessive greed. Can't do any of that. It's wildly out of control. CEOs doubling, tripling their fucking compensation every year. Not a problem. No biggie. No, the issue is, you know, we're giving, you know, Sally working the register a dollar raise from $7 to $8. That's what's ruining the economy. I'm so tired of this narrative being repeated over and over again that the only solution to our problem is to gouge the middle and lower class, to make our lives more miserable, while these fucking guys get on their fucking profit, get on their calls, right? Their margin, their fucking phone calls to announce their profits, and are just cranking it, man. They are laughing in our fucking face. They're laughing in our fucking face. Okay, Panda Man pointing out, Larry Summers is pointing out some of the greedflation, and I will say, recently in the last 2 to 3 weeks, the financial videos that I've been watching, they are bringing that up as a small little thing, right? They're saying, well, the main issue is the wage price, but there's also some greed. There's a little bit of greed here and there, but, you know, it's capitalism, blah, 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 blah. But we really got to do something about the wages. Well, we can't be giving people, you know, like that. I have noticed that the greedflation is too much of a story for them to ignore. But they're saying anytime the remedies and solutions are talked about, it's always lower wages, lower services, right? We can't, the bailout. We still got oligarchs on TV making the argument that the bailout that people got for COVID, you know, is a major cause of this. Oh, we gave people thousands. We gave each individual $1,000 or $600 and completely ruined the economy. Oh no. Right. So that's what I'm talking about. And it is a consistent buzz, channel to channel, media, you know, media organization after media organization, because they're all listening to the same so-called experts on this issue, like Larry Summers, right? Larry Summers would never in a million fucking years ever propose taxing the rich as a solution to this problem. Maybe he'll acknowledge it, because he has to, because he looks like a fool if he doesn't. But he would never fucking acknowledge, he would never say, oh yeah, we got to go after billionaires that are just making way too much money. It's getting wildly out of control. He would never make that suggestion. The Larry Summers that I've seen on interviews and read in articles, I don't think so. I don't fucking think so.
Broker down the road, they've been inundated with calls.
No, don't be stressed, it's absolutely fine.
No, be stressed, it's actually not fine.
Sorry, I'll get to send you a...
But people are worried.
With the rates being so high, the specialist lenders, which is what the market that we work in with, people that have had blips or credit problems in the past, those sort of lenders that were there and could make a good margin, they're starting to... Is that
an actual term, a woozle? I thought a woozle was a cartoon... koala bear from the 80s. Is that a woozle? Woozle. Yeah.
Realize that there's not.
I have this same exact headset, by the way. It's a Jabra headset. I use it every day. It's really nice.
A market for them because they can't charge 8-9% interest rates because the clients can't afford it on paper.
2.5 million people will be exposed to higher rates this year, and the average mortgage is...
Panda Man, 1, Bill Clinton was not a fucking moderate. He was a conservative. 2, Robert Reich is not a fucking progressive. Holy shit! Are we on the same planet? Are you from an alternate dimension? Where are you getting this, man? Robert Reich a progressive? My entire dick! Robert Reich a progressive? Absolutely fucking not. He's a progressive for the first 1/3 to 1/2 of his article, and then a straight up neoliberal for the fucking rest of it. Have you ever read a Robert Reich article? It's like, here's the problem. Here's an accurate description of the issue. And then here's my solution, which is a bog standard neoliberal. I support the fucking neoliberal establishment every single time. Answer. That's every Robert Reich article that I've ever read, right? An accurate description of the issue. And then go on to make recommendations of vote more Democrat, support more neoliberal solutions. Robert Reich, a progressive. Holy fuck.
Is now above 6% from 2.5% in 2021. Unlike the 1980s, more people
I'm losing
are on
my
fixed-term
mind here.
deals, leaving them initially untouched by rate changes. But critics say this has blunted the bank's effectiveness and meant they've needed a bigger mallet to control the economy.
This is going to heap even more pain on ordinary working families. The government need to do what only they can do, which is give that instruction to the Financial Conduct Authority to ensure that banks are properly helping customers who at the moment are very, very worried about what these increases in interest rates and mortgage rates mean for them and their families and keeping a roof over their head.
It means they're fucked, but it also means more money for JP Morgan, so it's all good. That's what it means.
The problem...
Wow. Some fashion decisions here. You know, the collars, the glasses. I think she has like 3-4 shirts on. Bold decisions, bold decisions.
The problem is that lenders are pulling hundreds of mortgage deals and repricing almost on a daily basis. Now that's nerve-wracking for borrowers, and it raises questions about the future of financial stability. But banks tell me that so far they're not seeing customers in distress and they still have mortgages in the market, albeit at a higher cost. Of course, the big issue is that after 15 years of free money, no one is quite sure how hard this new normal for interest rates is going to hit.
Hi everyone, how are you?
In Kent, the Prime Minister was making big promises.
I'm here to tell you that...
What is the deal? I saw Theresa May. I saw What's-Her-Nuts, the flash in the pan came and went, did this too. What is the deal with every UK politician going to this? Did they go to the same factory? Right? They put on a goofy little white hard hat. Didn't Boris Johnson smash through the wall? What is the deal with every UK prime minister going to the same factory with the same guys in the yellow vests? Oh, I love you. I love you. I support you. I love you. It's such a joke.
I am totally 100% on it, and it is going to be okay.
Yeah, Lenny,
and we are going to get through this.
The big glasses are coming back.
Less convinced.
Rooting out inflation is not easy. It requires difficult decisions. It doesn't happen overnight. But
yeah, I've made the difficult decision to pay you less. It was a tough one, but I made it. Anyway, back to my mansion.
But if we don't get on top of it, it would just get worse, and it would last longer. And that's not going to do anyone any favors.
So
it's not going to be good for you and your families in the long run.
Yeah.
And even though...
Yeah, because that's what I care about. I care about you and your families. That's right. That's why I agree with Brexit.
I have to make some difficult decisions.
Does he, though? Did he vote Remain? Some people are saying he vote Remain. I can't remember.
That's the type of Prime Minister I am. Thanks very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
It's still too early for the political applause. Staying Prime Minister will not be easy if the housing time bomb...
Are these people paid to be here? Are these people paid to be here? I wouldn't want to be part of this photo op. This is a joke, dude. This is so formulaic and generic and terrible. This is atrocious.
Detonates on his watch.
Elia Ibrahimi there. Well, it's not just the workers in Kent he met today.
I think they're
Rishi
getting paid to
Sunak
sit
needs to reassure about the pressure of rising interest rates. Many of his own backbenchers are becoming concerned about the effect it'll have in their own constituencies. Our political editor Gary Gibbon is in Westminster.
Whoa!
Gary.
It's quite hard to find a Tory MP who isn't muttering menacing words.
Is that like a 120-inch screen? Whoa, man. Man, it makes my operation look all busted up. Screen is huge, dude. I want it. It's all curved, too. I want it.
Mr. Gary.
It's quite hard to find a Tory MP who isn't muttering menacing words about the Bank of England and the governor and the failure to raise interest rates earlier, failure to stop quantitative easing.
You think so, Lahav?
Earlier. But I think what really struck you today was listening to the Prime Minister
Rishi isn't going to resign.
That phrase you just heard in Helia's report, I'm 100% on it. It was almost as if he was trying to play on what he has often thought was a bond that built up between him and the British people over furlough, introduced during COVID, that giant intervention by the state, as he called it. But of course, what he's actually saying here is not some great big offer of government spending, which would be sprayed all over the country. He's actually telling people to stop spending effectively, and he's promising no extra government spending because that would cut across monetary policy. The levers he's actually got to pull are pretty limited.
Yeah, and guess what it is? It's the lever that makes the middle class hurt. That's the only lever they know how to pull, right? And I'm repeating myself, but it's the only solution that they have. Can't tax the rich. No, that'd make my bosses mad. Can't do that. Can't go after profits. That'd make my bosses mad. I guess the only people I can fuck over are my constituency, and I'm just going to cross my fingers that my, corrupt right-wing media apparatuses and my, my talking heads can smooth things over for me until the next election. I'm so tired of this cynical politics. Just everything over party and personal, power. We need to be shameless in pushing transparency and checks and balances. They cry witch hunt. You're against free speech. You're against this. You're against that. I'm a regular citizen. I should have rights too. No, politicians are a special class of citizens, and they should be treated specially. Like, if you're a politician, you should have full transparency of your business dealings, right? And if you don't want to give up you don't want to show full transparency, then you're not a politician. Like this idea that they get to keep a lot of shit secret, and they get to, have $1 million bank accounts that keep growing mysteriously is absolutely ridiculous. We need to hold these politicians to the fire as people. And yes, as the people, we can pass laws and regulations that say you have to be transparent or you can get the fuck out. And there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing. We are the people. We set the rules here, right? You know what I'm saying?
The lenders themselves are going to be called back in for another chat round table with the Chancellor tomorrow.
We can make these fucking
likewise,
bastards
the regulators
do what we
on
want.
Monday. Regulators, they're going to see if there's any sort of core price cut that is not being passed on to people. And a lot of the moves that they're making with the lenders. They've been around the houses, so to speak, with the mortgage lenders before on all of this. They're just seeing if they can make improvements in some of the things they've already discussed. But one of the biggest things you come away thinking about today is what we knew of the loose choreography towards the election that the government was planning. Interest rate rises have implications for the government's own borrowing costs. The margin for trying to do tax cuts, as we know this government was hoping to do, the margin and the timing of those tax cuts.
And you hear that? What's their priority? They're still, after all this, still trying to figure out a way to wiggle in some tax cuts for the extreme wealthy. When the discussion should be, okay, how much more are we taxing these people? It's how much more of a break can we give them and put that on the backs of middle and lower class people. And those middle and lower class people, man, they still voting Tory. There's still a loyal Boris contingent and all that. I don't know what it'll take, man. I really don't. And the thing is, I think the left should stop trying to change right-wingers' minds, right? Stop trying to change their minds. Stop trying to give them evidence. Stop wasting your time thinking about what they're saying, and right? Who cares? We know where they stand. The left should focus on people that have checked out of politics, the millions of voters who are no longer participating, and increasing that voter participation number. That's how you grow real power right there, is you get these people that are checked out. You give them a reason to vote. You can't just knock on their door and tell them, I'm not really going to change anything, but you should vote for us. That's not good enough, neoliberals, right?
The possibility of those tax cuts is looking pretty lean tonight. And it's no surprise that when you talk to people inside Downing Street, they say that Rishi Sunak, only a few months in the job, is facing the toughest period right now of his premiership.
Gareth,
your assumption that the more people would vote, the more would support right-wing politics is completely wrong. Every poll shows that progressive policies are what's attractive to non-voters, not right-wing conservative politics. Absolutely not. More people that vote, there are more people that'll vote for Trump. I mean, maybe some of them will vote for Trump, but that kind of cynicism is exactly why the neoliberals are failing as a party.
Thanks very much. Well, earlier I spoke to the Conservative MP John Barron, who sits on the Commons Treasury Select Committee. I began by asking...
And Panda Man is correct. Go into the heart of Kentucky, the most conservative area you can find, and ask them if they think they should get a little help for their kids' college. Ask them if they think, you know, they should pay the full bill or get free health care, right? As long as you don't call it Obamacare, it's all good. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think that's great. Oh, God damn, I just had sex with my sister, and you know what? I think I'd like to have some free health care, right? So Panda Man brings up a great point, and we saw this with Hillary Clinton's failed fucking 2016 campaign, right? Completely ignoring conservative areas, trying to convert rich, moderate Republicans to be Democrats. Complete failure of an idea. The solution is to bring progressive values into the right-wing areas and to engage the there's so many people who are checked out of politics in these right-wing areas that we can engage with as a left party that actually wants to help them.
Asking him what he made of the interest rate rise today.
Well, I think it's a case of consumers and householders now having or paying the price for...
Solahov, I see your recommendations there. I agree with you.
The Bank of England having been asleep at the wheel when it comes to inflation.
Terrible choice,
for far
Hillary.
too long, they've not been as proactive as they should have been in combating inflation by increasing interest rates earlier. Had they done
Rebel
so,
Phoenix, yep.
I think there may
Popular
be
vote, yep.
less pain on both inflation and interest rates now.
Is that fair, given what has happened in the last couple of years? We've had COVID, the invasion of Ukraine, a Conservative government that lasted 6 weeks and many people said caused chaos. I mean, no one could have predicted what we have been through in these last couple.
So Panda Man, you make a good point, right? That's our livelihoods. Bernie, and this is the for YouTube. Sorry, I'm interrupting here. You know what? Let me just pause this video here real quick, so I'm not disturbing YouTube. Let me respond to what Panda Man said, because Panda Man's bringing up some good points here. So how does the left tell Appalachia about, okay, we need a green economy, we got to move away from coal and oil, right? How do you tell those people that have made their entire livelihood, their fathers made their entire livelihood on this industry? The left needs to come in here and say, look, this is the way it's happening. You know, regardless of what I believe, coal and oil is on the way out. Car manufacturers are all making their own versions of EV. The world is moving away from oil. Here, let me tell you how I am going to help you, you know, keep your future, keep your career, right? I'm gonna pay for retraining. You know, we're gonna you know, give you subsidies and tax breaks while you're transitioning your life away from oil and gas into a new green energy sector of some sort, right? That you've chosen, right? And you say, look, the right isn't offering you any of this. The right is trying to cling on to industries that are going to die, and then your entire and then once it's truly dead, once that plant closes, you're screwed. You're screwed. So I'm trying to help you out here. I'm trying to build a more sustainable future for you. I never see neoliberal Democrats saying that to people, right? I really don't. I don't see, because they don't want to you know, talk about retraining programs. They want to talk about a bunch of spending, right? Oh, the right wing will get me on spending, you know, so I can't talk about any programs that might cost money, or else they'll do a commercial that says I want to spend millions of dollars on erroneous bullcrap. Well, they're going to do that anyway, slick. So why not offer the voters something? You know, neoliberals hate offering voters shit other than, oh, well, we're not the right wing. Oh, yeah, well, you know, you better just suck it up, Buttercup, because it's going to get worse with them. That's not good enough for voters. Wait, okay, I thought I paused the recording. I didn't. Okay, so the recording got all that. Sorry, okay, back to it.
Couple of years.
Well, many people cite, you know, the bank cites, you know, external shocks. The biggest one
Rebel Phoenix,
being Ukraine. But, you know, inflation was 6% plus just before the invasion of Ukraine. Interest rates were still
Solahov, I agree.
0.5%. given their remit of keeping inflation down to 2%.
Seismic, Biden is anything but progressive. And if you're over here trying to characterize Biden as progressive, that tells me that you're a right winger that wants to characterize Biden as progressive because you want to label Biden's policies as progressive, right? Because you think that's a handy way of attack. Any actual progressive on the left will tell you Biden is an enemy of the progressive movement in the DNC and the neoliberal Democrats. So if you're out here, oh yeah, Biden's being so goddamn progressive, that basically tells me everything about you, right? And where you're coming from, right there.
And below, that was woefully behind the curve.
Specifically about the interest rate rise today, because that is going to have the biggest impact on people already struggling in many instances with the cost of living crisis. Was it the right thing to do?
I don't know the statistics. All I would say to you is this. Interest rate rises normally have a 12, 15, maybe 18-month lag. If the Bank of England is confident, and I'm talking about central banks generally here, but if the Bank of England is confident about its inflation forecast at the year end, i.e. being around 5%, perhaps falling, that's their forecast, the OBR is still at 2.9% year end, then why are they increasing interest rates now, given that interest rate rises always have a lag effect?
So you're questioning whether, in fact, they should have done this today?
I think there's a case for a pause, frankly, because if they are correct, they can't have it both ways. If they are correct that inflation is going to be around 5% by the end of the year and falling, then why are they increasing interest rates now?
That's a great point, right? Because that prediction is based off of the actions that have already been done. So they've already raised interest rates, and here's the prediction. Okay, this is where we're going to be by the end of the year or whatever. So why are you doing it again?
Given that interest rate rises have typically a 12, 15-month lag before they affect the real economy.
Interesting.
Are you nervous that on the path that we've been on, you know, the 13th consecutive rise today, that they are headed for making another mistake that will take us into a recession?
I think there's a risk of overkill, yes, unless they know something we don't. They either believe in their own forecast that inflation is going to be falling soon, or they don't. In which case, I think honesty and transparency would be the best policy, because at the moment this is causing an awful lot of pain to people.
Consumers and households, they're not just looking at, you know, the Bank of England, they are looking to government, and they're looking very, very hard at the Prime Minister. And he has said today, I'm on it, 100%, I've got this. Should they believe he does have this?
Well, we've got to remember, if I may, that the Bank of England is independent. It should be independent of any political persuasion. All political parties in this country
Lenny.
accept its
that
independence.
Does seem to be the
I'm
trend.
afraid this fault when it comes to inflation...
It seems like we're going to get more in the U.S. as well, more interest rate hikes before things go down, yeah.
Interest rates has to be laid firmly at the Bank of England door.
I understand that, of course, but the Prime Minister has made his #1 priority halving inflation. Will he come to regret that?
Well, time will tell. All I know is we have a Bank of England that's proven to be, how can I put it, woefully neglectful in its duty.
This undoubtedly could be the biggest issue at the next election. Could it cost the Conservatives the next election if something dramatic doesn't happen on both fronts?
Well, you can never predict black swan events and dramatic events. All I would say is we need to do what is right by the country and get this situation sorted. And it starts and finishes, I'm afraid, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it does start and finish with the Bank of England, who are rightly independent and have got this badly wrong. So I'm not suggesting they should predict black swan events. Who can? But a month before probably the biggest external shock, they were well behind the curve already.
John Barron, thank you very much for talking to us today.
Interesting stuff. All right, so there you go, YouTube. That's my UK/Biden update, I guess. Sorry about all the digression there. But, you know, the basic gist of what I'm trying to say is, and it's just a trend I've seen all over the place. The solutions to this problem is always, how much of this can we put on the middle and lower classes? And we have to ask ourselves, why are leaders on the left and leaders on the right and our media ignoring the reality of, and I'm talking obscenely wealthy people raising prices during inflationary crises making money, making more profits than they've ever made in their entire history, and there's zero accountability for any of this. I understand it's capitalism, but at a certain point, we, the people, have a right to regulate capitalism to make it effective for us. And we're clearly not doing that. So I don't agree with the right wingers and the Larry Summers of the world that are so protective of these rich people, right? That they simply can't be touched, and we have to just come up with new and clever ways to, cut their taxes to make the economy work. I don't agree with any of that. And I do feel like these oligarchs could be pulling their weight a little bit more. And I don't think taxing them or going after their profits is going to destroy the fucking economy like they say it's going to. I'm calling bullshit on that one. So thank you, YouTube.